So Jonathan Taylor's having himself a hell of a year through 2 games, right? Leading the NFL in both rushing yards and in carries. He looks fine, doesn't he? He looks really good. He's got 5 targets, 5 receptions. He's blocking really well. This seems to be headed toward him being the best that he's ever been as a versatile running back. So we talked to him about that, talked to him about not quite hitting 23 miles an hour. He got to 22.38 miles an hour. How's he feeling about his season?
Is it you enjoy catching that ball in the open field like that, and you want more of those?
Yeah, man. As long as it gets us down in the end zone, I mean, it don't matter to me. It don't matter to me.
You had a lot of catches your first couple of years. What do you think changed for a little bit there, where you were getting the ball as much in the passing game?
I mean, definitely sometimes it's scheme. Sometimes it's just however the game is going, what the coaches want to call. But at the end of the day, the overall goal is when your number is called, you got to make the play. And that's what we try to do as players is as much as you can every single time when my number is called. And if my number is not called, to say the play specifically for someone else, whatever my job is, can I do it at a high level? Because that's how you become that's how you become an elite player, becoming consistently good. That's how you become elite.
It has to be nice to get the ball, though, with that much space around you, as opposed to, going through the line every time.
Definitely, when you're starting from back there, you got to go through everybody. But that's also a nice challenge, especially being a running back, is being able to get through everybody with the help of your teammates. But when you can get the ball in space, it allows you to put a little bit of your athleticism, kind of on display early rather than later on in a play.
JT, what has stood out to you about Tyler Warren, his ability to open things up for the rest of you all? I feel like it's also kind of vice versa. You all do the same for him, but how is he kind of enhancing the offense?
I think just him being a little savvy. Just kind of knowing how to when to be under control, when to find and settle down in those open spaces. A lot of times, not only tight ends, but just rookies in general. You're in the NFL first year, you want to go full speed, you want to play fast, you want to play aggressive. And the tough part is finding obviously, I see a void here in the zone, let me just throttle down a little bit. So just having that knack of knowing when to turn on the gas, when to turn it off, finding those open spots, like a veteran player, is very encouraging to see from him this early.
How efficient you guys were sometimes at Wisconsin. Have you been with an offense that's not punted 2 games in a row?
No, that's not won 2 games in a row.
Two games in a row you've not punted.
Punted. No, I don't think. I think we've punted in Wisconsin. Maybe there might have been 1 game we didn't punt at Wisconsin, but 2 games in a row is insane. Like any level, 2 games in a row is insane. But I think that's just a testament of the work that we've put in, but also the consistency, because you have to be consistent. You can go out there and have 1 good drive, and then the next drive you go 3 and out. So being at a high level of focus every single drive, I think is something that we've been able to put on display. And of course, we're going to try to continue that, because if you don't see Rigo out there, then obviously things are going well.
Do you think you guys are unique in that no one truly dominates the ball for you guys? I mean, some guys have a few more targets. You get your carry, but I mean, you can spread the ball around.
I think that's what keeps defenses on their toes when you're game planning for an offense and like you said, these are their guys, but when you truly can say, listen, the ball can go anywhere. What do? I mean, you have to play honest. You have to play honest, and you have to say, listen, you guys got to rally. You guys got to rally to the ball. You guys got to make the play. So that's what we try to do. And like I mentioned, just doing our jobs at a high level so that consistently it's like, hey, whoever gets this ball is viable to make a play. So we need to make sure as a defense, of course, this is what I expect the defense to say, you guys got to just make the play, because the ball can literally go anywhere.
And I imagine that can't happen if Shane doesn't scheme stuff up for everybody, right? I mean, you have to live it, don't you?
Oh, and like you mentioned with Shane, I mean, he's very competitive. He's always thinking of ways to out-coach the opposing team, but he's also looking how can I get certain guys in a position that I know they'll be successful in, that I know that's their strength. So when you have a coach like that that's constantly thinking of ways to put us in advantageous looks, it's really hard to stop us.
You mentioned a couple weeks ago that you wanted to hit 23 miles an hour, came close.
Yeah, I said that since I came in, so that's just an ongoing thing.
I know. Did you feel like maybe you were there on that reception?
No, every run you break out, you're thinking if you did it or not. Like I said, since my rookie year, ever since Isaac Guerrero, I told you guys when I first came in, Isaac Guerrero, he's a person who I've seen hit that consistently. So shout out to Isaac. But it's just a work in progress.
JT, how has your relationship with Zaire evolved over the years? He was basically telling us that he's going to be your campaign man for Offensive Player of the Year, MVP, whatever good things happen to you, he wants to be part of that.
It's grown, and it's a testament though, because I've seen and I've watched him and how he kept his head down and how he worked and how he went about being a pro. And especially with us being, from the East Coast, just having that kind of connection there. Throughout the years, he's always been someone like you mentioned. He's like, JT, you don't speak enough, you don't say about some of the things that you're doing, but I'm like, at the end of the day, a lot of these things come from the rest of the offense as well. The guys up front, those long runs you see, that's from Alec Pierce and Pittman and Ashton coming down, getting those blocks, sustaining those blocks. So at the end of the day, my portion is just on the back end of it, but it's a team effort. But it's always nice to know when your teammates have your back, and I have their back as well.
JT, in this league, people love comps. They love to say this player is like this player. How difficult is it to find a comp for Tyler Warren?
Like I mentioned, one thing for me, like I said, he's athletic. He has the physical traits, but it was that learning curve for me, what I saw during training camp. Like I mentioned, they expect rookies to make mistakes here and there. Of course, you're learning a new game, a new system, but he had very, very few mental errors, which was something that was really interesting to me. So when you're able to beat that learning curve, now it's like, how great can you be? And it's hard to find comps for a lot of people. And you can have comps and say, he's very similar to this person. But at the end of the day, I know even for me, going to school, going to college, a lot of people, thought, hey, you think you could be like this running back or that running back. But one thing Wisconsin said was, hey, we don't know who you're going to be. We think you could be a great player. And I think that's what each and every single player wants to be. They want to create their own path. Of course, some of our idols, some of the people we looked up to, we look at and try to emulate. But in the end of the day, Tyler's creating his own path, and sooner or later, you guys are going to say, hey, does this guy remind you of Tyler Warren? So I think that's something that we all can chase.
So there's Jonathan Taylor at the end talking about, running backs, who are the comps. He was asked about Tyler Warren. And then he kind of evolved that into people talking to him about who he reminds people of. So afterward, I went up to him at his locker and I said, who do you emulate? He said, I just try to be the best me I can. That's as good an answer as you can be. When you try to shoot for what other people are, sometimes you get confused about the process and you start evaluating yourself in a different way. Jonathan Taylor is good enough to be really good. When he was a rookie, I watched first game, second game. I was like, he got some Walter Payton in him. I still think that with Jonathan Taylor. I still think that he is that good at that many things that he can be not another Walter Payton, but he's got some of the same characteristics and some of the same accomplishments as well. Now, he got to start winning, right? It's similar to Payton. Payton came in 75, right? They went to the playoffs in 77 and 79, but really didn't get cooking until 1984. That was year 10 for Walter Payton? Jonathan Taylor is right in the middle of year 6.